Good morning to everyone here. I think I want to start here. These are the walls that have nurtured me for 8 of the best years of my life. And this is where my shooting journey started. So I'm here to talk about probably one of the biggest, happiest mistake of my life. I was a pretty notorious kid growing up, as all of the teachers here will attest to. And I think this journey really transformed me to be the person who's standing here on such a great platform talking about it. And I really do love talking about shooting. I remember I was really into squash at the time. That was one of my favorite sports before shooting. And my parents have always encouraged me to try new things, to try a lot of sports. I've tried many things. I've tried skating, basketball, I've tried badminton, I've tried. And all of these, I think, the lesson that I've from those sports has created a version of me that can love shooting. This I love everything else about my life. I remember the first month being very, very boring because we were not allowed to handle the weapon until all the safety measures were clear. And we were just taught how to shoot, how competitions work. So I really hated the first month. And I think everything changed the first moment I held a weapon in my hand. It was a month before the inter-school competitions that were being placed. I think it was here in this school, and yeah, we were given a weapon for the first time. It was a break barrel gun, and I wasn't even strong enough to break the barrel. I had to ask one of the coaches to do it for me. But yeah, I think the first time I held the weapon in my hand, my arms were shaking, my legs were trembling, and I could not even breathe properly because you have this power in your hands and you don't know what you're capable of if you misuse it. And that is where I realized there was a lot about me that I had to change. Because my coach came and he asked me, like, how is it going? We're going to give you a few shots to shoot. And anyone who can shoot 2 shots on the target will be selected to be a part of our academy and go on with this journey. And he saw me trembling, my hands were shaking, my trigger finger was like shivering and shaking. And I was so nervous, I thought I couldn't do it. And then he came up to me and he told me that when you learn how to control these emotions, that is when you know that this is something you're capable of doing. And I didn't understand the depth of it then. Now I do, obviously. But yeah, that is how my shooting journey started. That is how I fell into love with the sports because I realized that was the one place where I had to stand and be stable, calm my breath, and let all the thoughts go so that I could shoot better than other people. And obviously, I was very competitive, so I did well. But the first year of shooting is why I thought God didn't want me to be in shooting. I remember regionals after the inter school. I was very sick during inter school. Took so much, like a lot of medicine, could not see straight, won a medal anyways because, okay. And then I remember regionals, it was raining and we didn't have a roof over our head. It was raining, the targets were getting wet. I was nervous. Water was falling on my kit, on my rifle. And my dad, poor soul, was standing with the umbrella on my head. So I could shoot something proper. I won a team medal and I was like, okay, this is the worst case of bad luck ever. Like, I know I can do it. So before states, something my mother told me came to mind, which was everything bad that could happen to you has happened in the past 2 competitions. So please, for the love of God, do better this time. And so I did. I won a lot of medals in state, upgraded to a better weapon, and then came nationals. And I was sitting behind the lane, and my coach was like right next to me on a chair next to me, and he pointed to the shooter in front of me, and he was like, "She is number one right now. She just won the national medal, and yeah, that is who you're standing behind." And I was terrified. And I think after that match, I played a pretty bad match, my first nationals. After that match, I got to thinking, about where I was. Like, I wasn't afraid of the state medalist. I was the state medalist, but I wasn't thinking about who was there before me, who won the gold medal before I did. And after that match is when I had the realization that no matter who I was, what I was doing, if I was even a good shooter, whoever I was standing behind or in front of, we're all competing for the same thing. We're all fighting for a place on the podium. And that is what it should be. You can't just give up because something doesn't go your way or you're too terrified of the person who's standing in front of you. And I always thought that later I've come to the realization that maybe it wasn't the competition that I was terrified of, maybe it was the expectations of people. I always thought, okay, my parents have put a lot of money, it is not an inexpensive sport. And they put a lot of money, a lot of time, effort. They've uprooted their family to be with me everywhere I go. And I always was afraid of letting them down. And I think that is what everyone, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's academics or if you're into sports like I am, it is something that everyone faces in their life, that fear of disappointing people, of living up to everyone's expectations of you, even your expectations of yourself, because you know you can do it, but then you're just not. That is something that everyone else faces. And I think one of the biggest things that I have learned being a part of the sport for so long is that when you are on the podium, when you are scoring as well as you thought you would, no one else can be happier than you are. Because all that hard work is something that you have put into it yourself. Other people might see it, they might acknowledge it, they might be proud of you. But when you are there and you have achieved something or you have lost something, no one will mourn that loss more than you have. So the only expectations that you should keep of yourself is to show up and keep going regardless of the result. Because you can worry about all the people in the world judging you for what you are doing, but just know that it won't matter to them. They'll forget it in a day or two. They have other things to worry about. But that is your whole life. That is something that you love. And you will always expect more of yourself than they will. So live up to your expectations. That is something that I have learned. Apart from that, it is just about change that you can bring in yourself. What sports has taught me, what shooting has taught me, is that there is nothing bad per se. Everything that you think is negative can be transformed into something way more positive when you're doing something that you love and you appreciate. I used to be a very nervous, anxious kid. I first got into shooting. Every time, I still am sometimes. But when I am shooting, when I hold the weapon in my hand and I'm playing a match against Olympians and international medalists, and I am nervous, I tell myself that I'm only nervous because I love it so much that I can't afford to be bad at it. And that is what your nervousness and anxiety is. Anxiety is you pushing yourself so that you know that there is more to do. That is what anxiety is. All that nervousness, you're only nervous, you're only worried because you're worried you'll do bad. And I've realized that when you get into a sports, based on the reward system, based on the amount of tension you have in day-to-day life of upping yourself, getting better than your competitors, everything else in life starts seeming a little bleak. All the problems I had outside of the range started sounding too small to me. Like, why am I worried about giving examinations when I just played nationals, competing with 6,000 other players in India in a single event? When I start thinking of that, I think my studies in a lot of way improved as well. I was studying less, but whenever I was studying, I was more focused. I was more determined. I could keep going for longer than I've seen most of my friends go. And I think more than that, when you generally leave your home, when I'm traveling for competitions, I get to learn more because of it. Because when I'm at home and everyone's coddling me and I'm in a safe environment, I I develop myself that same way. I am safe. I don't have to worry about anything else. But when I go to competitions and I see thousands of other shooters with far more interesting stories than I have, trust me, and they're working twice as harder as I am, it pushes me to be the best version of myself. And so the real question isn't what sports am I playing or what sports are you playing. It is if you have something in your life that also pushes you to be the best version of yourself without having to change a single thing. When you start seeing yourself in a more positive light, half the work that you need to work on is already done. Because you stop worrying about if I am good enough or if something I'm doing is logically wrong, and you start seeing yourself as someone who can do more, achieve more. If you are 80% of the way, that 20% is the push that I think sports gives me. And I think that is what you should all find within yourselves. Moving on, now I was traveling for 2.5 months, I think, here and there, all the national ranges, training under coaches. Something else that keeps bothering me is that sometimes I'm doing really well in training, like world record level scores. And then when I go to matches, I just can't perform. And it was a very difficult year for me this year, even though I became a national medalist this nationals. But going forward, I think everything that I have within myself, all that training, everything, the burnout, the blood, sweat, tears that I have put into it, I did not think the first 4 matches that I played this year were good. And what I want you to know from that, what I have learned from that, which I hope you all also learn from your mistakes, is that all that expectations that I have for myself, when I moved it 2 matches, I want you to realize that every pressure is different. The match pressure versus the exam pressure, that is pretty similar, which I think most of you all will face given boards, right? And I want you to know the same pressure that you have when you are first flipping through, you get 15 minutes of reading time before you give the actual exam, you start writing. That same energy that you have is the same energy you get in sports. So what I want you to do is try to find something that you like, obviously, unless academics is really your game. But if you were the same kid I was, who was distracted, not doing well in school, who was always interested in things but couldn't pursue it, or if your parents had to hear the whole, she is good at studying, but she does not try so hard. If you were that kid, I want you to find a deeper push in your life, something that shooting has been for me. And on that note, I think I will conclude. Thank you so much for listening to me speak. It has been a dream.